what happens.
Says we're live.
Hey.
Hey everybody.
Hi.
Wait and see if this starts showing up or not. Don't know if this is going to work real well.
Looks like it's working. Hey, there's Creekview Acres.
Yeah. So
Like
can you guys
similar-
actually see us? Because it's not showing up on ours. We got a commercial showing up.
Yeah, I don't know what you did there. Okay.
Okay, yeah. Appears that it's working. All right. So we've had a full day already today.
Yep.
So go ahead and tell them what we ended up doing today.
I got another animal.
Yeah. She got another goat. She got a fainting goat.
Oh, somebody from Ireland's watching. Joanne Killen.
Yeah.
Doesn't show up on here.
So anyway.
Yeah, I got a fainting buck. He's really cute. Did you get yourself a big buck yet? No, I'll get him next weekend.
What?
Deer hunting next weekend.
Oh, a deer. Yeah, I meant to deer hunt today, but didn't actually get a chance to do that. We ended up being out late last night with some family stuff that happened. But anyway, we spent all day driving. We drove about an hour, get a fainting buck today, and then we ended up kind of rearranging all the goats, so they were like 3 separate.
Hey, there's Bill.
Goats.
Hi, Bill.
Hey, Bill. I know I recognize some of you guys' names. Some of you guys have commented for a long time. So you guys got any questions or anything? One of the new things that's going on.
Are you watching the Goats of Anarchy live stream? Maybe the goat is going to have to.
I've never heard of that.
I've never heard of it either. Oh, there's Australia. Aussie Donald Duck from Australia.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi, everybody.
Yes, we are warm and cozy. I'm actually got wrapped up in a blanket, and I got Maggie. Maggie's here.
Yeah, I think the house is actually up to 70 now. We'll probably that'll probably be the last logs we burn tonight.
Somebody asked when you were gonna buy a new tractor.
I'm still looking at getting a new tractor, honestly. We went and talked to a tax lady the other day, and looking to see how that works, because this is going to be our first year actually doing like maybe farm on our taxes and everything. So we're trying to work out the details on that. So there's a chance maybe next year we'll actually maybe get a tractor. We'll wait and see.
Yeah.
I think we'll keep one of the old tractors for sure to do some of the work out in the fields.
The weather is getting better our way. All the snow's just about melted.
Yeah, there's a little bit frozen, like the back part of the pond is like real narrow back there, and it's all shaded, and that section of the pond is still frozen. But everything else is thawed out, so the ducks have got somewhere they can swim around and everything here today. I was going to try to see if I can get it to show up on here.
Did you get the hayfield fiasco worked out?
Yes. Yeah. No, I think that all worked out okay in the end. I think I'm pretty satisfied with how it turned out. In fact, probably after it was all planted the second time, it's probably planted better this time around, and I think we got the soil and everything right this time, and got it all amended correctly, and probably end up with a better hayfield in the end afterwards. It just kind of sucked how everything kind of worked out, so but anyway, I think in the end it'll work out and look and be better.
Spencer Shepard asked if we ever thought about getting a cow.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Just today I said I want a mini cow. If I can't have an alpaca, I think a mini cow would be nice.
Yeah, so she's actually worked with a guy who has Dexter cattle, and so I know that there's a chance that I could always buy cattle off of him if I wanted to. We were looking at getting a couple full-size cattle we were going to actually buy this fall. I kind of had a deal worked out kind of with that, and then we didn't end up with enough hay with the whole hay field fiasco and everything. I didn't feel like we had enough hay to get one in the fall and feed hay through the through the winter time. So we'll probably relook at getting a cow in the springtime.
Frugal Farmer channel. Hello. I saw somebody had asked about what size Christmas tree we were gonna get. You can tell I've been decorating for Christmas. I've started, and our old Christmas tree, which was 9 foot, I put in the loft. So now I'm thinking a 12-foot tree down here, probably.
Yeah, she started decorating for Christmas like November 1st.
It's a cabin. It looks perfect at Christmas.
But it's like the only thing she ever decorates for. She doesn't decorate for any other holiday but Christmas. So she has been, there's like, what do you call that stuff? I mean, you got garland or whatever all over the handrails, and she's already got one Christmas tree up. So I'm sure there's more to come.
Somebody asked if you still have chestnut seeds in the fridge.
Actually, we just got some, I don't know, a few weeks ago. I didn't make a video on it because I've already done a few videos on chestnuts, but we ended up, I think, with like 87 or something like that chestnuts in the fridge right now, and planning on growing more chestnut trees next year. And you know, I want to have over 100 chestnut trees for sure, but hopefully we'll end up with more than that when it's done. But I think that'll be good. I think there's a lot of things we can do with chestnuts in the future. Plus, I think it'll help with hunting.
Okay. How about another dog? Janelle asked.
So we did inquire about a dog at one of the humane shelters this week, but it was already being...
Someone's applied for it, so they said if it falls through that they would get back with us. We had to fill out an application. So.
Yeah, so it was a Great Pyrenees mix. And it was a younger Great Pyrenees, but whether that's true or not, whether it's a mix or not, you never know, but it kind of looked like it was.
You got the fire to roast the chestnuts. Yeah, neither one of us has ever had roasted chestnuts.
Yeah, not yet. Maybe when our trees finally produce chestnuts, we'll give it a shot. So.
Oh, Bill asked, how'd our goat breeding go?
We're not sure, actually. So we're planning on leaving Gracie in there for like another month, just to kind of guarantee it.
Yeah, we need to figure out the whole paint thing, how you paint them, and be sure that they're bred.
Explain the paint thing that you're...
It's like you paint something on the buck, and then when they've been bred, there'll be paint on her back.
You put it on his belly. You put paint on the buck's belly is what you're saying, and then if he should get paint on her if he does the job.
We need to do something. We got to figure it out. How was that fresh home ground bacon?
So we have tried on the pork. I just ate actually a couple of the 1-inch pork chops tonight, and then we had ham this morning, and then we've ate some of the bacon. The only thing I've been disappointed in was the ham. Just not as salty as I like. I like that country ham. Got that saltiness to it, and it's just not as salty as I prefer. And there's like 50 pounds of ham, and so I'm a little disappointed that it's not exactly the way I want it. But I think I'll just have to add salt, I guess.
James asked if we cook with duck eggs.
Not all the time. Actually, right now, we're not finding any duck eggs right now. I think they kind of slow down in the wintertime, or they're putting them somewhere where we don't know where they are.
But I have in the past. And
baking more than probably just straight cooking.
Yeah, like one duck egg is pretty much equal to 2 regular eggs. And when that bread that I made, I used duck eggs.
Yeah.
Duck eggs and chicken eggs. So, yeah, we've used them.
Yeah, we had like 12 dozen eggs or something in the fridge the other day. We finally, she took a bunch to work to people, and then we've been giving them to family. I think we're actually down to a couple dozen now, thank goodness.
I was making noodles.
Yeah, lots of noodles being made.
Yep.
Our country ham is really salty. Yeah, that's what I like. I like a good salty ham. I eat ham a lot. Actually, I love ham. I put it in breakfast all the time, so I would go through probably a pound of ham anyway in a week. So definitely something we'll use. Yeah, the chestnuts we had they're supposed to be a Dunstan chestnut. I get them from like Chestnut Ridge of Pike County, Illinois, and it's supposed to be a Dunstan chestnut orchard, and then they sell the chestnut seeds, and you can get them and grow them yourself, and that's what they're supposed to be, which is American Chinese hybrid. It's supposed to be blight resistant. But they say chestnuts are like deer candy. It should bring in the deer, and then I think chestnuts are something you can also feed to pigs and stuff like that. So there's like an opportunity that maybe you could feed it to like pigs in the future and supplement your feed. Plus you could just maybe sell chestnuts if you wanted to. If we had 100 chestnut trees, that'd almost be like an orchard or something that you might be able to sell chestnuts.
Your pigs love the eggs. Love those videos.
Yes.
Yeah, the pigs are funny. They were a lot of fun to raise, and yeah, they absolutely loved the eggs. It was funny listening to them slurp up the eggs.
Oh yeah, they'd suck them out of those eggshells and everything.
Someone asked me if I have any plans on making videos on deer hunting.
We might make like one video. I don't know if like all the viewers really want to see like hunting videos necessarily. And I actually haven't had the chance to hunt too much. I've actually went bow hunting once. And then like the next weekend I actually had a rib pop out, which was actually pretty painful. And then so there's no way I was going to draw back a bow with the rib popped out. And so I'm planning on going this weekend, and then we're going to firearm hunt in another week. But we're hoping to get a deer, but the problem is we don't have no room in the freezer.
we gotta buy another freezer.
We've been looking at other freezers. That freezer that we had downstairs, it's that chest freezer. You can see there's like rust on the top of it, and that was like the freezer my parents had when I was probably like 12. So I mean, this is like a 30-year-old freezer, and definitely could use a bigger one. And so we've been trying. There's actually still deer meat in there, and we were like trying to get that deer meat out of there. So we actually made 10 pounds of jerky this week, and planning on making some deer summer sausage and stuff, and kind of getting all that deer meat from last year, kind of finished up and used and turned into something.
So somebody had asked how big our homestead was. So we have 41 acres, and then another person asked when you're going to start on your shop.
I really wish that we could save the money for the shop and build a shop next year. One of our kids is still at college, and we're kind of cash flowing that, and that's very expensive. So I don't know if we'll end up having the money for a shop or not. And then the 41 acre homestead, there's actually 42 acre like kind of square that we own, and there is a cemetery that sits on the side, and it ends up taking like 1 acre out of that 42, and that's why it ends up with that odd number of 41. And it's a really cool old cemetery. The original owners that got this property kind of like gave it to the church that's right nearby so that they could be buried there. And it's just a really old cemetery. It's got these really big oak trees that like go way over it. They're just huge. It's a neat looking old cemetery. But that's how we ended up with 41 acres.
And somebody wants to know how long you've had a YouTube channel.
So YouTube, I actually started making YouTube videos like 6 years ago, and I did it as a hobby, and it was kind of hit and miss, and I never monetized the channel until like December 26th of last year. I was just doing it as a hobby, and obviously as soon as I monetized the channel, I've probably tripled the amount of subscribers in this last year just because I monetized, because it benefits YouTube. So it definitely helped me grow to monetize the channel, but I've been doing it for quite a while. But I think this year we made a commitment to try to make more videos and try to maybe improve on the quality of videos. Now I know that a lot of people said on the pork video there was some sound issues, and for some reason there was a mic only recorded on the left channel sometimes, and on a couple of the videos. So I know that last video still had mic issues, so I'm still working out issues trying to improve my videos.
Yeah, and you guys are right. Small Town 442 was the original YouTube channel name. And a couple people have asked if we have full-time jobs and what we do for a living.
So yeah, so go ahead with your full.
Okay, so I'm a nurse at a hospital. I'm an RN, and I'm actually PRN, so I work as needed, but I work about 24 hours a week. So I have more time off. I work night shifts, so I work 7 p.m. to 7:30 a.m. But I do have more days off, so I can take care of things here at the farm with the animals.
Yeah, and I've always worked like industrial maintenance. I have a degree in electronics and like automation, basically. And what I ended up starting out doing, and so I still work in industrial maintenance. I kind of deal more with new construction and installation than anything anymore. But somebody asked, what was it? Oh, asked what some of my favorite YouTubers are. Me and her have different opinions on who her favorite YouTubers are. I probably watched Living Traditions Homestead and Arms Family Homestead probably the most. They're probably the two that I always watch, but I actually subscribed to like 150 YouTubers. I have a huge subscription list, so.
Yeah, I don't watch YouTube as much, but I don't watch as many homesteading channels. I watch medical channels. That's what I'm interested in. So.
Because she's a nurse, so.
Yes.
Yep.
Somebody asked what the P in PRN stands for. So it's per diem. It's a per diem RN. It's kind of what it. I mean, it's
I thought it meant part time.
No, it's not part time. There's part time, and then there's it's like a per diem. It's like a
But so she's not full time. She kind of gets to pick her schedule.
I pick my own schedule. I work whatever I want, so that's kind of nice. You can't really get that in too many other careers. Do you plan to build a greenhouse?
I don't know. Right now, it'd actually be nice if we had one because we could probably still grow some stuff. But the garden is big enough that we could fit one in the middle if we wanted to when it's done. But there's still a lot to do to try to get that garden. But right now, there's not a plan for a greenhouse. It would probably be a hoop house if we ended up doing one. Let me turn your phone the other way so I can see comments. It's kind of weird because like the comments pop up on the screen and they only stay there for like 5-10 seconds and you got to read them pretty quick. So this is our first time doing this. So
could you write your own contract out here?
No, I don't think you could write your own contract for you're talking for nursing.
Yeah, I've got 2 different state licenses. So I have Illinois and Indiana license.
Yeah, and she's worked in both states and.
They're showing up.
Now, yeah, getting the chat to show up on her phone. Maybe we can get it to stay up. Yeah, Living Traditions Homestead, I think, is like probably one of the most like accurate homesteaders out there, I'd say, because I mean they are true full-time homesteaders. I mean they don't really have jobs, so I think that they're really living that lifestyle, And maybe we have jobs and we're maybe one day we'll live that lifestyle when we retire, but we'll probably work at least for a lot more years.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Oliver.
Oliver.
Yes, Oliver said hi.
Oh.
It's cold in my house. Well, it's warm in here. We got it nice and toasty with the fire going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but the bedroom actually, since like this is big and open in here, so this whole area is nice and warm. But the bedroom is probably like, what do you think, like 5 degrees cooler? But that ain't too bad when you're sleeping at night. It's nice to have a cool bedroom.
I know you bought your hay equipment at auction. Have you tried using any of it, or
That's a good question. That's a good question. I actually planned on trying to like go through the hay equipment this winter. I ended up buying like a lot of different manuals for the equipment, and I've bought some replacement parts already. And I was gonna go through and like kind of go through like the sickle bar mower and make sure everything worked, and then I was gonna try to go through the hay rake and kind of redo it, and then the baler. Now the baler is really the only thing that really concerns me because it is an old square baler, and I think that's probably the most intricate mechanically wise. So no, I haven't gone through them yet, but I was planning on it. We'll just have to wait and see if I get the time to do it.
Somebody asked how we met.
So like I said, I worked in maintenance, and she used to work in a factory. Mm-hmm. Yeah, did. So I used to have to fix her equipment.
I broke stuff all the time.
Yeah, she still does. She still breaks things, and then that's what I'm here for, is to just fix everything she breaks. Yep. So she ended up, we probably kind of flirted with each other for probably like 2 years, something like friends. That. Yeah, and then finally, we finally ended up starting dating, and then she ended up going to school to be a nurse. And then when she finally was getting done with being a nurse, I thought, well, I better marry this girl. She's finally gonna, make a little bit of money. No, but
no, we never messed around on the job. We were always completely professional.
Yeah. Yep. And we actually worked different shifts most of the time. So most of the time I'd only see her if I was in on like extra overtime or something like that. So we didn't really work. We've never really worked the same shift. We're
No.
always on opposite shifts.
Yeah, he's a day shifter, and I'm just a born night shifter, so we're completely opposite. Any close calls that you've had on the farm?
Oh, I'm sure that, yeah.
Putting up a deer stand. I injured my hand.
I felt so bad. Like, we tried to set up this deer stand, and there was like a bracket that goes against the tree, right, to hold the ladder. It's a ladder stand. And we were setting it up or whatever, and that thing swung down and ended up like breaking her finger. It's probably still crooked.
Smashed my fingers. It was horrible. I couldn't get my wedding ring off. They were bloody. It was terrible.
Yeah, I've had the different instances. I'm sure that have been close calls, but I don't know of any big injuries. I mean, that's probably. Mm-hmm. I mean, smashing her finger, I felt bad enough right there. So.
Someone had asked if we were going to get horses. We're not going to get horses. Horses is not an animal that I've ever wanted. Actually, when I was a kid, I got bit by a horse. So I've never been really fond of horses. I think they're pretty. I don't mind petting them or feeding them, but I don't think it's an animal that I would want to keep.
Yeah, I mean, like her parents' house, there was like, just across the road. It was like this little town with like 6 houses.
Yeah.
And the people across the road, a couple houses down, they had horses all fenced in right there in this little bitty town. And so you'd go over and visit the horses or whatever, but it's nothing I think I'd want to get into. I think they're a lot of work.
How far are we from town? Probably like 15 miles from the closest.
I think I'm 16 miles from the town I work in, which is still about a 20-minute drive.
Yeah.
So.
Somebody had asked if we were going to get bees, I think. That's what I saw.
I don't know if at the moment we've gone around on so many different things. At a certain point in time, we thought about with all these farm fields. I think we even considered like putting them in like a pollinator program, but I don't think I want to get into bees. I know actually there's a lot of people I work with that have bees, and I see them having to buy bees all the time because they always die off in the wintertime. So I think that's a very much a difficult, I think, to consistently raise bees and not lose them. My uncle actually raises bees, so we get honey from him, so I think that's good enough.
Yeah. Chris Honeycutt said, "Hey Evan, did you ever consider doing real logs for your home, or was it always the log siding you had in mind?"
So when we went to build, we knew we wanted a log home. Actually, when we just first got together, we went to like Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and we rented a cabin, and we loved staying in a cabin for like the few days we were there. And I think we've always wanted to live in a cabin. But we went to the log home show, and we went there, and we were looking at all these vendors who have selling logs, and there's different grades of logs, right? I mean, so the difference on how much they're dry, and then there's the type of log, whether it's like cypress or pine. And so you're going to going through and you're trying to learn all this at this log home show, but then you kind of get like further in the show, and there's all these like settling systems on how when the wood dries and how to try to tighten all the wood back down and level your house back out and like pull it back together. And it was just like really overwhelming, I guess. So that kind of scared me, I guess. And then you kind of look into it, and it seems like when that starts settling, you get gaps and it gets drafty. Then we ended up running into the Country Mark Log Homes guy, and I didn't realize there were logs weren't logs. I kind of walked up and I said, "Hey Rebecca, look at these big old logs." And then we walked around the side, and it was just siding, and it was like, "Oh, that ain't even real logs." And so we talked to Ed with Country Mark, and I think it ends up that this is just way more energy efficient of a home. It's just a lot tighter of a home because you end up spray foaming it, and everything's just airtight. So I think in the end, this is just going to be a more efficient home for us. It's not real logs. In the end, it probably costs similar because of all the wood that we had to buy. There's no drywall in this house, actually. We bought tongue groove wood for the entire house. So, but I think we're happy with what we got.
Yeah. Bank 80 said, "What about putting your rented farmland in CRP?"
Yeah, that kind of goes back to that pollinator program. That was a CRP program, and then you could have put it in trees. Like I personally wanted like what all men probably want. They want recreational ground, right? Ground that you can go and you can ride four-wheelers on, you can hunt, you can do whatever you want on. And a lot of times that's woods and trees, and with lots of wildlife. And I mean, that's something I definitely thought of, was putting in trees. But when it gets down to it, when you can kind of rent that out, and I don't know. I don't know in the end what the right answer was. We ended up keeping it in rent because that's the way it was, and it paid for the taxes. So
DK 1969 wants to know where we are.
So we kind of always give a vague answer on that because we don't really pin that down. Now we've been talking about getting a post office box in a nearby town. But basically we live between Terre Haute and Evansville, Indiana, along the Illinois side. So there's about 5 counties right in there that we live in, or that's kind of gets it down to the area. We're about 8 miles from the Wabash River and the Indiana border. We're really close to Indiana. So.
Texted Dan. He said, "Seems to me I remember sometime back someone wanted a mini donkey and was told we'll have to see about that. Have we seen it yet?"
Okay, so first of all, the list of animals that she wants is probably several, like 20, and they're all mini animals too. You see, she said mini cows earlier,
yes.
Mini donkey. She wants a miniature like a petting zoo, I think, here on the farm because she just loves animals. What did you say the goats were? They're an all natural
antidepressant.
All natural antidepressant.
They are.
Yes, they just
yes. Make
her life better.
Angie Thompson said that I need mini donkeys. She has 2 and she loves them.
Oh yeah, we'll wait and see what she ends up getting. We probably will end up having to have some type of livestock guardian, right, at some point in time, because we will probably end up having more sheep or goats or something, and whether that's a dog or a donkey or a llama or who knows.
When I had the vet out here, she kind of steered me away from the donkeys and told me I needed to maybe go with the livestock guardian. Are you getting llamas or alpacas?
She'd love to have alpacas, I think, because they're just so adorable in her mind. That's how she buys animals, is on adorability. It's not really like functionality.
They have to be cute. Yeah, they make me happy. You need that land to grow hay for all those animals. Absolutely. Yeah.
So there is another 3-acre field in the back that quite possibly once we make sure that we can make hay successfully, we may turn that into hay as well. And then, of course, the 12-acre field in the front we may turn into pasture eventually and get a bunch of animals.
What about emu? I think I've mentioned those too.
I think you've mentioned everything.
Yes. Have you thought about a water catchment system at the barn?
Not like really in depth. I could see where in some cases that could be beneficial. But I think in the end, I think our goal would be to get the old well working and then be able to just pump our own water for the livestock in the end.
Are we planning to build a better barn, or are you planning to get more animals? More animals? Yes. Improving the barn? Yes. Definitely.
And the duck's leg is not really healed. He still limps, so I'm not sure what's wrong with him.
I think it's just adjusted to the injury. So now it uses its wings more, and it kind of jumps on one leg and flies around, but it's happy and it's eating and it's doing just fine. I didn't think it survived, but it's been fine. So
we're not sure what happened to that duck's leg. Actually, when we picked the ducks up that day, one of the ducks had a leg that was bleeding. He somehow got cut when we got him, or he got caught or something. And he did not limp that day, but shortly after he did. So we don't know if it's that cut or if he ended up got a turtle or something, ended up biting him or not.
How many takes does a normal video take?
Oh my God. I am terrible at making videos. Like, it probably takes me 10 takes to finally get one where I say what I want to say, and not like I just mess up every time.
Yeah, the ducks will do just fine with the one leg. I think so too. An alligator for the pond, I don't know if they would handle the cold weather.
Yeah,
yeah. What's the estimated cost of running our place? I'm not sure what you mean.
Yeah, that one's kind of We probably right now when that's a good question. Probably $150 a month for feed for the animals. I'd say for like the ducks, the chickens, and all the hay a month probably. But then all your other costs is everything we're improving. So you're spending hundreds on fencing and you know, I mean, just like that electric fence we put around the goats. I mean, that's like a couple $100 for like that electric netting. So it all just adds up every time we buy something new.
Somebody asked if our ducks are still two groups. They're not. They've completely combined, and they're together all the time now. So they're one happy little flock.
Yeah, every once in a while you still see them a little bit apart, but they pretty much act as one anymore. So that's good. They didn't that first month they did not like each other. Yes, meat chickens. I see that. We actually next year we probably will get a batch of meat chickens. I actually want to do that this year, but I never had the time to build like a chicken tractor. And now that we have the poultry netting that we're using for the goats right now temporarily, that'll work out well for meat chickens next year. And then we're kind of hoping to get cows, which they probably won't be ready next year. It'll probably take like a year and a half to raise a cow. And then possibly some turkeys, maybe. Wait and see.
Have you considered moving the pigs around the farm to deal with all the underbrush?
Nah. I got one area that I think I'll put them in that's under some trees, a little more wooded next time we get them. And we're not even sure we'll get pigs next year just because there's so much meat in the freezer. We don't know if we'll have it all ate by next year, so let's have to wait and see how that goes.
Yeah. Oh, that old barn is definitely staying. Chris Bermuda said keep the old barn. It's lasted this long for a reason. I love that old barn, so it's definitely staying.
Yeah. And we haven't painted it yet because of the whole. There's several things. There's like the back half of that barn that I showed in the house tour or the the homestead tour. I mean that all that it's got old rusty corrugated metal. It's not original. I mean so that's all probably going to come off and get redone. And then at the top part of the barn, there's actually a few of the perimeter posts are broke, like rotted off. So there's some posts that need to be replaced on the actual upper part of the barn. And I kind of don't want to paint it until I kind of fix all those things and get wood replaced everywhere. And then we'll probably go back and paint it. We may paint the roof as well.
Yeah. Someone said you should post cooking videos of the pig meat.
I did film a little bit of my breakfast this morning. It'll probably show up in another video.
Yeah.
Just as an intro or something. But there's a lot of pig there to eat, that's for sure. I can't wait to actually make breaded tenderloins because I actually like to make my own breaded tenderloins. So those look good.
And are you planning on selling your extra meat and food, or you just want to feed yourself?
I think when it gets down to it, like a lot of times when you raise animals in pairs, that there's more meat there than we can use. So I think the main goal is to make enough meat for us, and then there's going to be extra that we probably need to sell to kind of break even or to come out better. We did sell, like a half a pig, and we actually just sold that one to family, and we tried to sell that one at cost. Since it was family, they went ahead and gave us a little bit of extra for it anyway, but we tried to sell it at cost. So that does help with the cost of those pigs.
Somebody said you should hang Irish Spring soap in the orchard, which we have.
Yeah, we have, and in fact, I have some downstairs. This actually is not a bad time of year for that, just because all the green is going away, and for some reason, like apple trees and stuff, they keep green leaves on them until like January. And then so that attracts the deer up there because they see those green leaves, and then they'll end up rubbing their horns on it or something. But luckily they're not in velvet no more. You get a lot of damage during when the deer are rubbing their antlers more.
Daniel Chaffa said, do you have wildlife cameras on the property and any plans to use them in the barn to watch the animals? I've tried. I've said we need a camera in the barn so I can just watch the animals all the time.
See, so you can sit in here in a chair and watch the animals. We have 4 game cameras actually on the property. We have one set up for video, and I think the others are set up for just some pictures. And we haven't checked them in a few weeks, but we do use them out on the property to kind of monitor the the game around. And a lot of times it lets you know how much predators are around, if that makes sense. Like, we have not seen coyotes and stuff. We hear them all the time. We have not seen them in a long time. But in the past, usually the winter's the worst. You'll see more coyotes and sometimes bobcats. We'll get them on camera.
Why not keep the goats in a bigger area since you have plenty of pasture?
It's just because it's not fenced in.
But we plan to. We plan on making a lot more pasture to be able to move them around.
Yeah, August said galvanized paint on the tin roof. Yeah, I'm not sure what they'll end up doing. I think I just seen a barn down the road use galvanized paint on the tin roof.
I'm a little behind on the comments. It's hard to keep up with them all. Have you ever come across Justin Rhodes? He demonstrates how to butcher and process your own pork.
Yeah, I mean, all of those homesteader channels, more than likely, everybody's like Justin Rhodes or Lumen Acres. Everybody suggests Lumen Acres all the time because he's got goats. I mean, I'm subscribed to all those guys. Whether I have the time to watch all their videos, that's another thing. We do not really watch TV. We have a TV hanging back there, but we probably watch like 1 or 2 hours of TV a week. Mostly I watch YouTube, and I follow most of all those people.
Yeah. Somebody asked if we were raised on farms.
No. No. When I grew up, my dad and my grandfather always like helped with the church and a church camp and all of these different places, and they always just had construction projects. So I grew up just kind of like building things and working on things. But I actually never drove a tractor or an excavator or any of that stuff until we bought this property. So I am definitely new and learning, like tractors and heavy equipment, and I do enjoy it. But I'm definitely never grew up doing it.
Let's see. Do you plan to sell eggs in the future?
If we could find a consistent buyer, we'd definitely sell. I think we'd definitely sell eggs. We just, the trouble is the lady that, like some of the people I work with, they're already selling eggs. So like, there's already, most of the people that would buy eggs are already buying them from somebody. So it's kind of hard for me to find somebody else to buy the eggs.
Did you ever mow the hayfield in the back? We haven't had to because the deer have kind of mowed it for us.
It keeps getting shorter and shorter. It's actually, it got up to where it was like over 12 inches tall, and then the deer mowed it down, and now it's like really mowed down. I think the wintertime, it will definitely, the deer are mowing it for me.
Someone asked, Evan, does your dad currently farm?
Oh, no. My dad's retired, and he was always, he's always kind of a small engine kind of guy. He worked on lawnmowers, and he loves working on lawnmowers and stuff like that. And when I was going through, high school, I started like 8th grade, I think, mowing yards. And then when I quit mowing yards in like high school, at the end of high school, he ended up like feeling bad for all those people, and he's like, he like mows yards in his retirement, and he like and works on, he just likes working on small engines and gardening and stuff like that. I grew up, my dad had a huge garden when I grew up, so that's where the gardening comes from.
Yeah, somebody asked about our neighbors. How about your relation with neighbors? Do you have close neighbors? We have a church.
Yes.
And we have one other neighbor.
Yes, so the cemetery that's on the property, there's a church kind of diagonal from us. It's their cemetery. And so there's really only traffic on Sundays and Wednesdays. And then there's someone that lives on the side of the property, which is actually a relative of who sold us the property. Mm-hmm. And then other than that, I think I got a cousin. It's my mom's like first cousin that lives about 3/4 of a mile maybe away. So that's like our only neighbors in the area.
Okay, they must not have caught what I do for a living at night. So I'm a nurse. I'm an RN at a hospital. And then someone asked, are you still planning on selling your Case 730?
No, that's probably actually, when it's all said and done, that one is diesel. And I used it a lot this year. I'm glad that everybody told me not to sell it. And I'm glad I didn't, because when it got down to like finally kind of doing all this work in the fields and stuff, that thing has been very helpful. And since it's diesel, that's probably the tractor I'll keep. And then the Alice Chalmers has a bucket on it. And then if I get a new tractor, it will have a loader that is way quicker and probably more agile. And I'll probably get rid of the Alice Chalmers.
You guys work so hard, Pat said. What do you do to relax and have fun? We're doing it. This is it.
Yeah, if we weren't doing this right now, I'd probably be editing a video, which
Actually,
I'll probably do after this.
The things we do making the videos, that's what we enjoy doing. We enjoy working together, and we just like doing things around the homestead. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we just kind of show what we're doing, and it may take it a little bit longer because we film it, so it makes it takes a little bit longer to do any task around here, but I don't know. I enjoyed working. I'm like one of those people that likes to stay busy. And in fact, like the whole firewood thing, like this is about my time of year right now because I just love kind of splitting firewood and cutting down trees and stuff like that. And I always love building stuff. So.
Clark said, do you guys have plans on quitting your jobs and going full-time YouTubing? That would be amazing.
That would be, well, let's put it this way. So the longer I've lived here, the harder it is to want to go to work. I'll say that because I just love being out here in the country and doing this kind of thing. So I don't get me wrong, between the two of us, I would like my job and then she would dread her job.
It's stressful at times.
Yeah, because her job's more stressful than mine. And so I always enjoyed going to work, but it's getting harder and harder to actually go to work. I'd rather be here.
Okay, hold on. Let's see. Why goats? Because they're cute and I love them.
It's all about the cuteness factor. It all goes back to the adorable.
Yes, and you know you can make cheese, and cheese is one of my favorite foods. So.
Yeah, so she actually does live on cheese and bacon. That's pretty much all she lives
Mm-hmm.
on.
Yep.
She is a low carb fanatic and has been on low carb for probably 10 years or something like that. And so she just eats a lot of meat and dairy products.
Yeah. And vegetables.
But for as far as goats are, she just likes them, and I'm more of the person that wants a purpose for an animal. So it's either something that you can raise and sell, or something that could feed us in the future. That's kind of my point of view.
Okay, I saw another one. Lots of us are dying to see cattle running in those beautiful fields.
So am I.
Yeah, we're excited to do that.
Yeah, I'd love to have some steak. We steak's great, so it'd be nice to raise our own. It's just too expensive. We barely ever buy steak, so it'd be nice to just have your own.
Oh, thank you. A lot of people are saying nice things about nurses. Thank you. Cheese and bacon are important. Yes, they are very important.
And I know people were like, why don't you milk your goats? Probably. If you would actually look in our fridge, we actually don't use a lot of milk. We do cheese. We do eat a lot of cheese, but a lot of times we can go several weeks without any milk in our fridge. That may sound weird. But most of the stuff we make from scratch don't really need it. But
Elizabeth said, will you make soap or lotion? So I have made goat's milk soap. Not for, like before we got goats, I was buying goat's milk and making soap. And so that is another reason that I thought about getting goats, because I enjoy making soap. I've not made lotion, but I have made soap.
Yeah, and we'll probably actually make some around here soon. There's a chance we may try to make a few things here, because a lot of times we do make things around Christmas time to give at Christmas time. I think that's a little more personal when you make something.
Do you make your own cheese? If so, do you use goat's milk? Never made cheese, but I want to.
I'd love to make cheese. We have dabbled in about everything you can try to make, and we haven't tried cheese yet. So that'll be definitely something we'd like to try. They said you should make more videos.
I don't enjoy making videos as much. It's awkward for me.
You don't actually like her picture taken.
Yeah, I'm not
She's doing really well right now. In fact, I'm surprised that she's talking as much as she could. She's great around people and talking with people, but you get her front camera in front of her, she just kind of like locks up.
Yeah. Somebody said, I think you've said this twice. I know some of the YouTubers have bought some special things with YouTube income. Did you earn some from YouTube? So, I mean...
Yeah, we've made money off of YouTube, definitely.
And he's bought some...
we ended up... Since I'm kind of a electronics kind of computer geek, I've built several computers, and I ended up building myself a new computer this year to edit videos on, and then I got a drone this year, so YouTube is paid for that.
Somebody said, who watches the Homestead when we go on vacation?
Well, we haven't got a vacation in a couple years, at least.
It's been like almost 4 years, I think.
Maybe 2015 since we've had a vacation.
Yeah.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Somewhere in there, when we went to buy this house, we originally were going to go to Yellowstone because that's where I want to go. I want to go to Yellowstone, Grand Tetons. And then we got to where we were going to buy this property, and needless to say, it was like 6 months to buy the property. The deed was all messed up. We decided to save our money for the property and not go on that vacation.
We never got to go.
We went on a 2-week camping trip in a camper. But that was our last vacation that we've taken. So tell us how you think we should go on vacation. We either need a house sitter, or you need like some FFA, or what is that, right? The farmers, like one of those kids
that is
in 4-H, like 4-H kids.
Yeah.
And to come over and like feed the animals every day. I mean, I think we definitely would pay like a kid to come over, to come over and feed our animals if we go on vacation.
August asked how old we are. Old.
How old do we look?
Yes.
Don't answer that. I'm 42 years old, and she's less.
Yes.
She probably don't want to say. But she's a little younger than me.
Somebody said, do you even want to go on vacation? I know this place is basically our dream. Like everything we would ever do on vacation previously, it's here. But seeing other places like Yellowstone is definitely something we want to do.
Yeah, I'd love to go out to Yellowstone for sure. Last time we went on a vacation, just me and her, was probably like 2009. We went to Moab. Since she got that Moab hat that she wears, that was probably our last like real vacation that me and her kind of went on. I think we went to Door County, Wisconsin one time. We stayed up there for like a week.
Yeah,
that was probably our only 2 vacations by ourselves without kids.
Aw, somebody said we look like we're in our 30s. That's so nice.
Yeah. Anyway, if we got any other good questions here. Oh, I never did get to show this.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
We want to try to like improve the channel. Of course, it's all about trying to improve it. So, my logo is terrible, right? It's like a bunch of letters on like a wood background. So Rebecca kind of researched trying to find a logo, and what did you find?
So I found 3 little blackbirds, and she's a graphic designer. She's made a few different homesteaders logos. She is very, very talented.
Yeah.
So we asked her to make our logo.
And then here's one of our new logos right there. And it's got our house and some of the animals on it. And then here's the one that's probably gonna go on YouTube because this is a circular one. So, but it's our Country View Acres logo. So we'll be putting that on our Facebook page and on our YouTube channel and all that. And I think me and her will end up definitely trying to see if we can find somebody to make us some shirts so that we have some shirts to wear that say that, or a hat.
I think Kathy missed what YouTube people we watch, so I said I don't watch YouTube that much. I watch a lot of medical YouTube stuff. I watch the Frey Life, and he watches a lot of homesteaders.
Yeah, Living Traditions Homestead, Arms Family Homestead is probably the ones that I am probably the most consistently watch almost every one of their videos. But I watch all of them, like Justin Rhodes and Lumina Acres and Doug and Stacy, and I could just keep going.
Yeah.
So several YouTubers that I watch. But it's hard to find the time to watch them all. I usually do that on the weekends, like when I eat breakfast and stuff.
What kind of winter projects do you have planned?
Several. So actually this weekend I was thinking about starting to clear the backside of the dam. So I've got like a new brush cutting blade that's more like a saw blade that fits on the weed eater. And I wanted to see how well that worked and try to clear the just kind of more the brush on the backside of the dam. And I'll probably go back later and cut down some of the trees back there. But I need to do that before we start fencing, because we got fencing that's going to run on the top side of the dam and then down the dam. So I need to really get all of that brush cleared before we do the fencing. There's just so many little things I need to do before I really want to start fencing, because I want to try to rent a skid steer that has one of those fence post pounders on it, and I just want to be able to kind of go through one weekend and just drive as many posts as I can. So I just want to make sure I've got a nice clear path before I do that.
Aussie Donald Duck said if we come to Australia, he'd show us around.
I'd love to go to Australia. Yeah. Yeah, Australia seems like a really neat place for sure.
Except that I hate to fly, so that would be a problem.
Yeah, we'd have to drug her.
We drive everywhere.
Yeah, so our last vacation, we went out to Utah. We drove all the way out to Utah, and then we went to Las Vegas, and we went to the Grand Canyon, and we drove that whole trip.
JB asked if we name our animals. I do. And my new goat that I just got today, I need a name for. So.
Yeah, she needs a name for the new fainting goat, Billy Goat, that she got today.
I do. Yeah.
Because the people we bought them off of, it's a registered buck, but they didn't name it yet, so we get to fill that in on the registration when we send that in.
I think they said don't forget the pigs in the logo. You can see them.
It's really hard to see.
There actually is a pig in the logo. You can probably see him better.
There's a pig that's like leaning over the back of the goat. I thought that was kind of cute.
Somebody said if we do go to Yellowstone, we need to stay at the Old Faithful Inn Hotel. It's built out of logs more than 100 years ago. It's beautiful. Oh.
Yeah, we were going to Yellowstone. We were going to try to miss the crowd because we don't really like a lot of crowds. So we were going to try to go after school got back in session, probably like in September. Was the time I would shoot for to go there, but that's not going to happen for a while.
Cog Hill Farm, yes. We've both seen Cog Hill Farm.
Yeah, the dancing farmer, yes.
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 I like his pig. Yep.
Yeah, the big pot-bellied pig.
Somebody asked if we have ever gone swimming in the pond.
No, not yet. Now, my drone went swimming one time. And I had to go row out there and get my drone out and fish it out of the water. I will speak for DJI drones. That drone, after even fishing it out of the pond, still worked for at least a year or two. So it was definitely a good drone.
Everybody misses comment. We do too.
Yeah.
He swam in the pond quite a bit.
Yes. In fact, he was really weird because he's a golden retriever, right? So he loved water, but he would never want to get more than belly deep. He was afraid to swim.
Yeah.
But he always wanted to be near you. And then me and my son, we were out there like fishing one day in a boat, and I think the neighbor started shooting a gun. I think that's what it was. Mm-hmm. So the neighbor, I think, was ended up shooting a gun, and he did not like gunfire, and he swam out to us like the first time he ever swam, like really swam, and then he wanted to try to get in the boat and like try to sink us. But yeah, he loved water, just not the biggest swimmer probably.
Somebody asked if we have leeches in the pond. Oh goodness, I would hope not.
I would hope not. Would not know for sure, but.
Do you plan on putting more fish in the pond?
Not probably now. I mean, I think right now it's probably a pretty good balance. So, you should have seen it when we moved out here. I probably got some old GoPro footage, but I mean, that's all you caught was these little fish. And then we ended up talking to a fish biologist and the state fish biologist, and he told us to throw out all them bass and just fish them out and get them out of the pond to get that population down. We did that for like 1 year, probably threw out all these, like, they were really small ones.
Comet would eat them.
And yeah, but we probably threw out 250 of them, and then we thought that did, it still took a long time for the pond to balance out. Let's put it that way. But I think it's finally about right now. And yes, Greg Judy, I have noticed his videos over probably about 3 months ago, and I do watch that. That's another person people tell me to watch all the time. Now, I love his ideas on the pasture and all natural kind of thing where you don't have to like amend the soil. You kind of let the cattle do the work. But until I have my fences made and I can do it in a rotational grazing, I can't really implement his systems yet until I get my infrastructure in place. But in the meantime, I still want to go ahead and try to get the pastures with good grass in them and stuff like that as best I can beforehand. I'm willing to go ahead and pay some for the seed.
Rock Bottom Homestead said they were hoping that we would have been at the Homesteaders of America this year, which we had discussed that. We thought it'd be really cool to go to.
Yeah, we've talked about several times going to different ones of those conferences, kind of even the Appalachia Homesteading Conference or or maybe like Doug and Stacy's or the American Homestead, or Homesteaders of America. But um, I'll be honest with you, I find a hard time. I guess it's not easy for us to leave. I mean, that goes back to the whole vacation thing. We don't really have somebody to watch our place. Our kids are kind of busy. So they both live an hour or more away, and one works full time, and the other one's in college. And then I don't really want to put that on our parents. I mean, our parents are older, so I mean, we need to really find some kid or somebody local to do it. A bunch of stuff. And going back to that whole thing, like this is the property of our dreams, and then you get out here and you think that you could just relax and enjoy the property. I am such a workaholic, I have a hard time relaxing. It would be nice to get away, because every time I do stop and relax and fish a little bit, all I do is think about what I could be doing, that I could have, like I only caught 3 fish tonight. Well, I could have went ahead and split wood instead, but so it's hard for me to relax because I kind of tend to be a workaholic.
Our kids have no interest in running the farm.
Oh, no.
They're very opposite of us.
Yeah.
I mean, we drug them camping growing up. They hated it, but
they got used to it. I mean, we started out. I think we started out in a tent, and then a pop-up camper, and then a regular camper. But that they're not into that kind of stuff.
Maybe grandchildren one day. Maybe they will like it. That's what we're hoping. August, he asked, how's culvert pipe working?
Well, I think it's a little too early to tell. So that, of course, that video, the culvert pipe video, did get a lot of criticism. I actually put culvert pipes in the past in some older videos, and some of the comments that people put on this new video, I definitely probably learned some things that nobody had told me before. So I probably didn't put it in deep enough, and I definitely shouldn't have dug out that wet side first. Anyway, it's too early to tell because we haven't had any rain, so it's have to wait and see. But if I do anything to the culvert, I was thinking, since it's really not long enough anyway, like I really wish that was a little bit longer pipe. I thought about putting cement ends on the end and just kind of capping the ends with a nice cement face on each end, and then I won't have to worry about the gravel kind of going away, and it'll help seal around the pipe.
Yeah. We've been on here for 57 minutes.
Yeah, I didn't think we'd be on here this long. I told her probably 20, 30 minutes.
We thought there'd be like 4 people.
So.
Don't worry. We're used to, I mean, when you put yourself out there, that's, you gotta take the good with the bad.
You kind of get used to it. I try to at least look at it with an open mind and try to learn from people's criticism. A lot of times they kind of come out real negative instead of like trying to come out as a teaching moment. It's more like you screwed up. But I still try to at least learn from that, because I never said that I knew what I was doing. That's just what I was doing and what I was working with. So I just kind of wing it around here, so I learn along the way. That's the best way I learn, is just kind of as I go.
Okay, one more. John's asked if I would ever enjoy a good gamey deer heart, if I ever get me to try. I'm totally open to any kind of meat. I don't mind organ meat, so I wouldn't be afraid.
Yeah, she loves liver. I don't know what.
Yeah.
But she's definitely she'll be hunting this here in a couple weeks too. So so she's hoping to get a deer. I think we at least shoot for 1 deer every year, so we can at least have some meat in the freezer. Never really been like a trophy hunter necessarily. It's more like when the best kind of adult sized deer comes around, take it and put it in the freezer. So
all right, somebody had asked if we're qualified for super chat.
We didn't turn that on. I don't really, I went, you gotta understand, I didn't monetize YouTube for 5 years, so I'm okay with YouTube paying me right now, but I really don't want to put super chat on there, I guess.
How's the driveway holding up after all the gravel you put down? I think it's doing good.
Yeah, unless I like accidentally dig a tractor bucket into it and screw it up. But other than that, it does pretty good. So I don't. There was one spot, that we ended up adding some gravel to because it was thin from the original. So, but the That driveway's been there since like 2016. I mean, the original part, the first 700 feet or something. So it's held up.
Do we plan on building an oven for pizza and bread? That would be cool, but
Probably not. But I really actually I will cook a pizza in the Pit Boss pellet grill a lot. I do like doing that, and we do make homemade pizza. We have our own homemade pizza sauce canned, and but no real plans. When I first like came up with, we were gonna move out here, I had ideas for everything, like pizza ovens, solar dehydrators. I mean, everything you see on a homestead. I had ideas to be able to build all those things, but in the end, when it comes to priorities, they end up going to the bottom of the list. So,
all right. I think we're winding down.
All right,
an hour in.
Yeah, we'll probably go ahead and cut this chat and
we'll do it again, though. We'll definitely do it again.
So, yeah, the reason we did this is because I really do try to read everybody's comments, and I may not reply to all of them, but I do try to read every comment. And right now, there's been so many more people watching that I am hundreds of comments behind, and I can't keep up. So I thought it'd just be a good idea to do a live stream, and then maybe we can just interact that way. So.
And we'll go back through and look at all your comments, because I'm sure there's plenty that we've missed. But
yeah, I was getting caught up. I think I got about 90 comments, and I'll be caught up. So anyway.
Yeah. Oh, and if there's a better time for everybody to do the chat, let us know, because we
were kind of winging it for like what was good for East Coast to West Coast time range in the United States. And obviously there's a lot of people in Australia and all over the place. So
yeah, or Saturday or Sunday. But all
yep.
right.
All right.
You guys have a good night.
Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you later. All right. Thanks.